This page is the May 2002 issue of Nintendo Dream magazine, featuring a prominent cover story on Resident Evil, specifically Resident Evil Biohazard, for the GameCube. The cover showcases Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, the iconic characters from the series, in striking artwork. The article promises new information and interviews, including an interview with Kazunori Ida, hinting at significant behind-the-scenes details and new gameplay features. Also featured are Mario Golf and Mario Tennis, though less prominently. The overall tone suggests a significant focus on the GameCube version of Resident Evil, positioning it as a major title for the month. This page is a full-page advertisement for Kujin no Doshin, Boktai, The Sun is in Your Hand, for the Nintendo GameCube. The ad features vibrant artwork, depicting a tropical island setting, the main character, and gameplay elements. It highlights the game's creative world-building aspects, letting players create their own island paradise. The Japanese text emphasizes the unique freedom and creative control offered by the game. This page is a full-page advertisement for a book series titled Game Maestro. It showcases Volume 5, focusing on interviews with key figures in the Japanese video game industry. The ad highlights the in-depth interviews, presenting insights into the creation and evolution of Japanese video games. The book promises a behind-the-scenes look at the industry's leading creators, their work, and their personal stories. This page features a spread of articles and advertisements related to pets and video games. The main article discusses a new trend in Japan: pet accessories, specifically a wig called Bancho, Boss, that supposedly transforms a pet's personality, making even bullied puppies into confident leaders. The article includes several cute pictures of puppies. There's also an advertisement for a new pet food, promising increased energy and appetite, alongside an advertisement for the Animal Boss 150 game guide for the Nintendo GameCube. The page also includes a list of winners of a reader contest. This page is the contents page for Nintendo Dream Magazine, Volume 68, May 2002. It lists articles and game reviews, prominently featuring a cover story interview with Kazutomo Ida about Giant Robo. Other highlighted games include Biohazard, Mario Sunshine, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, Rune, Fire Emblem, The Binding Blade, Family Tennis Advance, Rockman Zero, Shining Soul, Animal Crossing, and Star Fox Adventures, amongst many others. The page also includes a game index section listing many GameCube and Game Boy Advance titles, and regular sections like reader mail and new game previews. The overall tone suggests a focus on action, adventure, and popular Nintendo franchises, reflecting gaming trends of the early 2000s. This page is a Japanese-language spread from Nintendo Dream magazine, likely from March-April 2002, showcasing the magazine's reader-voted, most anticipated games of 2002 Top 20 list. The top spot goes to The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, followed by Super Mario Sunshine. Other prominent titles include Star Fox Adventures, Fire Emblems, The Sacred Stones, Golden Sun, The Lost Age, and several Biohazard, Resident Evil titles. The page also includes a calendar of noteworthy events and game releases for March and April 2002, featuring a variety of titles across different Nintendo platforms. The overall style reflects the vibrant aesthetic of early 2000s gaming magazines, with colorful graphics and a focus on popular Nintendo franchises. The reader poll results highlight the excitement and anticipation surrounding upcoming releases at the time. This page is a prize giveaway from Nintendo Dream magazine, likely from April 2002. Featuring a reader prize draw with a selection of Nintendo GameCube and Game Boy Advance prizes. The grand prize is a GameCube console and memory card, with other prizes including extra controllers, games like SSX Tricky and Fire Emblem, The Sacred Stones, a Kirby plushie, and various other merchandise. The giveaway uses images of the prizes and brief descriptions, highlighting the appeal to fans of popular Nintendo franchises. The overall design is vibrant and colorful, typical of gaming magazines from that era. This page showcases upcoming Nintendo GameCube titles: Super Mario Sunshine and Mario Tennis. The Super Mario Sunshine preview highlights its unique island setting and gameplay, focusing on Mario's cleaning duties to restore the island's beauty. Screenshots depict Mario using his new Flood backpack and navigating various environments, including a thrilling roller coaster and a water-based level. Mario Tennis is presented as a fun, accessible tennis game with simple controls and deep gameplay, Screenshots show the familiar characters and exciting tennis action. Both games emphasize vibrant graphics and exciting gameplay, hinting at a summer 2002 release. The page also includes a short preview for Mario Golf on GameCube. This page is a preview of Phantasy Star Online for the Nintendo GameCube. It highlights the game's online capabilities, showcasing new characters and stages. 3 new character classes are introduced: Hunter, Ranger, and Force, along with 3 new character types: Fomar, a powerful mage; Ramar, a balanced ranger; and Hukasil, a close combat hunter. The page features several screenshots of gameplay, highlighting the game's beautiful environments and action-packed combat. The text emphasizes the game's innovative online multiplayer aspects, promising a unique gaming experience. The overall tone is enthusiastic, showcasing Phantasy Star Online's potential as a must-have GameCube title. This page showcases Giants Dochin, presumably the English title, a GameCube game. It features a large, friendly giant and small human characters inhabiting a tropical island setting. The page details the game's initial island layout and how the village develops as the player helps the villagers. Screenshots illustrate progression from a simple village to a more advanced settlement with impressive monuments. The writing style is lighthearted and emphasizes the collaborative relationship between the giant and the villagers, suggesting a charming and unique gameplay experience. This page is a guide on how to play Giants Dochin for the Nintendo GameCube. It focuses on 2 main gameplay mechanics: creating new villages by combining different villager types and colors, and growing giant flowers. Screenshots show the various village styles based on villager color and the process of planting trees to grow flowers. The overall tone suggests a relaxing, creative experience focused on building and community development within a whimsical, tropical island setting. The text emphasizes the importance of combining different villager groups to achieve unique village designs and monumental structures. This page is a walkthrough for the Nintendo GameCube game, Giants Dochin, likely a Japanese title, as no English equivalent exists. It details how to maximize the size of the main character, Dochin, by interacting with the island's inhabitants and environment. The guide shows various gameplay scenarios: befriending villagers to gain hearts, antagonizing them to get skulls, and the methods for improving Dochin's size via these interactions. The visuals display charming, cartoonish 3D environments and the titular giant character, Dochin, along with various smaller inhabitants. The guide suggests a playful, experimental approach to gameplay, focusing on the social dynamics and environmental exploration within the island's ecosystem. The tone implies a balance between strategic decision-making, choosing to befriend or antagonize, and a sense of discovery in uncovering the secrets of the island. This page of Giants Dochin, likely a Japanese-only title, gameplay guide, focuses on how environmental disasters affect gameplay and how to manage them. It details how to deal with rain clouds, tornadoes, fires, and volcanoes, offering strategies like jumping into rain clouds to dissipate them, using the game's main character's abilities to counter tornadoes and fires, and accepting the inevitability of volcanic eruptions while dealing with their aftermath. The screenshots showcase the game's charming visuals and quirky character designs. The page emphasizes strategic decision-making and environmental interaction, adding another layer of gameplay beyond simply increasing the main character's size. This page is a preview of Battle of the Gods, a GameCube action game based on the Feng Shen Yan Yi, Investiture of the Gods novel. It showcases the game's vibrant visuals and introduces the 4 playable characters: Siga, Taikubu, Nata, and Riran. Gameplay involves using powerful treasured items, likely magical artifacts, and immortal techniques, magic spells, to battle enemies across 8 stages. The guide highlights special combos and techniques, such as linking normal attacks with magic, for devastating results. Screenshots display various combat scenarios and the character's abilities. The overall tone suggests a fast-paced, visually appealing action game, with a focus on strategic combat and environmental interaction. This page provides a walkthrough for the first 3 stages of Battle of the Gods for the Nintendo GameCube. It focuses on Siga's path, illustrating map layouts and key enemy encounters, including bosses like the Stone Spirits and the final boss, the Crimson Dragon. The guide highlights strategic approaches for each stage, emphasizing the importance of utilizing Siga's abilities and combos effectively to overcome challenging battles and navigate the game's environments. Screenshots depict various combat sequences, enemy types, and the overall visual style of the game. This page continues the walkthrough for Battle of the Gods, Kamigami no Gyakushu, focusing on stages 21, 22, and 23. It shows maps of each area, highlighting key locations and enemy placements. Screenshots showcase battles against various enemies, including a giant snake spirit in stage 21, a robot-like boss in stage 22, and a large dragon in the final stage. The guide emphasizes strategic combat and boss fight tactics, suggesting efficient use of Siga's abilities to progress through the game's challenging levels. The visual style of the game is further showcased through the high-quality screenshots of the gameplay. This page showcases Magicial Seal God and Battle of the Gods 2 RPGS for the Game Boy Advance. It highlights gameplay, characters like Siga and Raylan, and emphasizes the link cable functionality, allowing for multiplayer and shared content between the two games. The article includes screenshots depicting various locations and battles, along with information on gameplay modes like the survival mode. The reviewer seems excited about the game's potential, particularly the link cable features and the unique gameplay mechanics. This page is a preview of Rune, a GameCube card battle RPG. The article focuses on the game's unique card-based combat system and its Versus mode, where players can battle each other using customized decks. Screenshots illustrate various gameplay aspects, including character selection, card betting before battles, and different battle environments. The 4 character designs, possibly named, but this is unconfirmed, are shown, with different colored costumes. The reviewer is enthusiastic, highlighting the strategic depth of the card battles and the competitive aspect of the Versus mode, emphasizing the fun and excitement of the game. The overall impression is one of a highly engaging and replayable RPG, with a novel twist on the genre. This page dives into the world of Rune, detailing the Argyle continent, its lore rooted in a legend of protecting a key divided among 5 kingdoms promised eternal prosperity. It introduces the 5 main countries: Orange in the center, led by King Jerubal, a land of magic research; Kachua to the north, a matriarchal society searching for their missing prince; Grail in the northwest, a warrior nation valuing ancient weapons, ruled by the strong King Xenon; Corten in the northeast, rich in mines and appreciating art and culture, led by the gluttonous King McCoy; and Wit to the southwest, focused on law and order, now led by young Prince Henri after the king's death. Pruwa to the south is mentioned as a former kingdom whose king is deceased, possibly related to a mysterious black mist that has recently begun to envelop the countries. The page also explains the card system used by Katya in battles, highlighting the elemental attributes: fire, water, earth, wood, and other. It illustrates the elemental weaknesses and strengths, crucial for strategy, showing fire is weak to water but strong against wood, and so on, while the other element affects all equally. Gameplay hints suggest capturing enemies reveals their details, making subsequent encounters easier. This page kicks off the actual gameplay of Rune, detailing protagonist Katya's journey starting from Orange Castle all the way to the Amiens Cemetery. It explains that the story begins with Katya waiting in Orange Castle for the king's return. A mysterious black mist has enveloped the continent, and Katya finds a crucial key in a treasure chest within the castle, marking the true start of her adventure. She teams up with Grideye, who helps her learn the basics of card battling. The guide walks through the early stages, focusing on the low Coddle Plains. It shows how clearing stages switches to a world map view, allowing players to select the next area by moving a cursor. The page highlights deck editing points, which serve a dual purpose. They restore Katya's health and allow players to customize their card deck with newly acquired cards. Obtaining cards is essential, as they can be found in treasure chests, or by capturing creatures encountered in battle. The guide stresses the importance of strategic movement and card usage in battle, and warns that a boss character awaits at the end of the stage. It encourages players to understand their cards' attributes and types for effective combat. This page continues the Rune guide, moving past the initial areas to introduce new stages and mechanics. After clearing the low Coddle Plains, you unlock the Bresson stage, where clearing levels earns you a star rating and sometimes bonus cards. The guide emphasizes using the radar effectively to spot treasure chests and editing points. Next up is the eerie Amiens Cemetery, a dark stage where lightning occasionally illuminates the terrain. Look out for exclamation marks, which signal important hints about the stage's layout or mechanisms. The guide also gives tips on using summon cards, suggesting you try to position them behind enemies for best effect, but warns against using them in crowded areas where your summoned creatures can be quickly surrounded. A useful addition is the antique shop, or curiosity shop, that appears on the world map after the low plains. Here you can buy and sell cards, or even change a card's class. Talking to Gridden at the shop can also reveal new locations on the map. Finally, the page offers some crucial tips. Giving up on a battle is possible, but costs you a card, so try to fight through if you can. Always keep an eye on Katya's health. Some stages can drain it quickly, so use editing points or healing cards, as hitting 0 means game over. Deck building isn't just about offense. Including several healing cards is vital, especially for tough boss fights. This page is all about NBA Street, the awesome 3-on-3rd Street basketball game that was hitting Japan. The main section hypes up the game, mentioning the NBA All-Stars and the pure satisfaction you get from pulling off flashy moves. It says the value for playing this is totally there. It then dives into the City Circuit mode, explaining that you'll encounter rival teams, and if you manage to beat them, you can even add their Street Baller characters to your own team. How cool is that? The page highlights some of these unique characters you can recruit. There's Biggs, a tall player known for his reach and jumping ability to swipe the ball. Bonafide is all about tricky footwork and speed to rack up points with fakes. Drake is the man for powerful jumps and clutch two-point shots. And of course, they feature the legend himself, Michael Jordan, calling him the ultimate all-around player whose game is simply divine. Finally, there's a section dedicated to the fun of creating and developing your own original players. You can customize them and allocate bonus points earned from winning games to build the strongest possible character, whether male or female. It sounds like a great way to make the game your own. This page is all about the fighting game Bloody Roar Extreme on the Nintendo GameCube. The big news here is the reveal of a brand new character, Kronos, and his utterly unexpected beast form, a penguin. Kronos is introduced as a prince from the Beast Kingdom, previously a mysterious figure. Despite his seemingly cute penguin transformation, the text hints at his real power. The screenshots show Kronos in both his human form, looking like a cool, young fighter, and his unique penguin beast form. Battling against other characters like Yugo and Bakuryu, we see glimpses of his powerful special moves and combos. The page also highlights the game's opening sequence, which is a minute-long animated movie. It mentions that the character designs for this opening were handled by Yoshinori Kaneda, known for his work on anime like Clamp School Detectives and Berserk. Several frames from the impressive animated intro are shown, featuring various characters and dramatic scenes, promising a high-quality visual experience to kick off the game. It looks like a solid fighting game addition to the GameCube lineup. This page kicks off with the big news: Fire Emblem. The Binding Blade is finally hitting the Game Boy Advance. It's highlighted as a simulation RPG from Nintendo, releasing on March 29th for 4,800 yen, supporting 14 players via multi-cartridge or GBA communication cable. The page introduces features designed to welcome new players, including a friendly tutorial mode. Screenshots show familiar characters like Roy, explaining basic movements and attack ranges, guiding beginners through the game's mechanics. A helpful new feature is the supply unit. This unit acts as a mobile storage, letting you easily manage items and weapons by transferring them to or from adjacent units. It's a great way to keep your inventory organized on the battlefield. We also get a glimpse of the story's antagonists: the tyrannical King Zephiel of the enemy Kingdom of Bern, and a mysterious woman named Ibeldan. Zephiel is the driving force behind Bern's sudden invasion across the continent, setting the stage for the conflict. Looking ahead, the magazine announces that they will begin introducing maps starting this month, and are asking readers to send in their strategies and recommended units for the early chapters of the game. Get ready to raise the Fire Emblem. The next page delves into the prologue of Fire Emblem, The Binding Blade, titled The Shadow of Bern's Invasion. Roy and Lilina's fate rests in your hands. This section introduces several key characters who join the protagonist, Roy. These include Lilina, Sue, Diek, Chad, and the veteran paladin, Marcus. Character illustrations show their designs, and their initial classes are mentioned. The page explains the setting, the Lycia region, and how Bern's invasion begins from the east. The first chapter, Breath of Fate, serves as a reintroduction to the world and fundamental mechanics, perfect for players new and old. The crucial gameplay concept highlighted is the weapon triangle, explaining the advantage system between swords, lances, and axes. The early map is designed to let players practice this, specifically showing how units with swords like Allen and Lance have an advantage against the bandit boss wielding an axe. The map walkthrough shows the starting position and points out a village players can visit to receive 5,000 gold. There are also screenshots showing the game's battle map perspective. Data boxes briefly list the types of allied and enemy units present in this initial chapter, including soldiers, archers, and bandits, emphasizing the early challenge and the need to utilize tactics. The next page continues the walkthrough for Fire Emblem, The Binding Blade, starting with Chapter 2, The Princess of Bern. This chapter introduces a map where you move from left to right, facing reinforcements from the bottom right. Visiting the top village nets you an armor knight, and you can buy essential items at the shop. The story reveals that Roy and company encounter a sister named Ellen, who joins the party. Later, the mercenary Dyke also joins up, boosting your combat power. The reviewer advises leveraging Dyke and Roy against lance-wielding enemies, and using warriors like Lot and Ward against axe users. Moving on to Chapter 3, The Missing Ones. The map involves navigating a castle town. A key point is visiting the village on the right to get a heal staff. This chapter sees the thief Chad join your ranks, making it safe to open treasure chests. The story progresses with the appearance of King Zephiel of Bern and the formidable 3 Wyvern generals, highlighting the overwhelming power of the enemy forces. Another important unit, the Mage Luke, also joins later in the chapter near the castle entrance. A crucial tip here is to stock up on vulnerary healing items, as you can now store many thanks to the convoy. The shop is conveniently located near the starting point of the Chapter 2 map. The next page of the Fire Emblem, The Binding Blade walkthrough, jumps into Chapter 4, titled The Alliance Army. This chapter describes a map where you'll be moving from right to left, a pattern that suggests reinforcing your units is key. The story highlights the appearance of Rutger, a mercenary, who can be recruited. The guide mentions that talking to him with Clarine is crucial for recruitment. There's also a note about the antagonist Narshan appearing, described as an unpleasant character. The map features a weapon shop and item shop near the starting point to stock up, but beware of pirate reinforcements from the bottom right. Following that is Chapter 5, The Flames of Bern. This map is geared towards gaining experience points, even though opening the gate in the center is relatively easy. The reviewer suggests taking your time and potentially looping around from the top to maximize experience gain. Visiting the villages is important, as there are events there. Specifically, visiting the village on the upper left gets you the Gantz Lance. Characters like Roy, Shanna, and Dieck are highlighted as units to focus on leveling up here. The story mentions some mountain bandits causing trouble, and a visit to a village where a mysterious priest resides. Finally, a general tip emphasizes the importance of keeping all units alive, especially weaker ones, and advises protecting low HP characters by retreating them. Family Tennis Advance, a new Game Boy Advance title from Namco, brings the classic tennis series to the handheld. The game features 4 modes: Exhibition for quick matches with customizable characters and courts, up to 4 players via link cable; Challenge mode with 10 tasks to complete for rewards; Tournament mode with increasing difficulty tournaments; and Training mode for practicing techniques and skills. The game emphasizes easy access and fun, with adjustable difficulty, and various item and character choices. This page features the Game Boy Advance title sheep, known in Japan as Hitsuji no Kimochi. It's described as a sheep-chasing action game where you play as a sheepdog, tasked with herding escaped sheep within a time limit. The simple rules involve guiding a set number of sheep to a goal area to clear the stage, but failing to do so, or losing too many sheep results in a game over. The page hints that despite the easy-to-understand premise, the gameplay can be quite deep. Screenshots show various levels, including a farm, a rocky area, and one with a river you might need to cross. The game features different types of sheep, and even player characters, suggesting variety in the gameplay and personalities. There are profiles for several characters, including Cory the Border Collie, a standard sheep, a pink sheep named Roz, and more uniquely designed sheep like Lopi and Bibi, each with their own traits. The page also includes a couple of 4-panel comic strips related to the game, created by Akeki Miwa, with one focusing on the dog character, Cory. More comics are available on the Capcom website. This page dives into the world of Mega Man Zero on the Game Boy Advance. The headline sets the stage. The government is hunting down Reploids, leading to the resurrection of the legendary Zero. You play as Zero, awakened from a century-long sleep by the scientist Ciel, who needs your help against this oppressive regime. The game features multiple stages, with 16 different missions that branch based on your success, offering a dynamic experience. A major gameplay mechanic introduced is the Cyber Elf system. These helpful sprites are hidden throughout stages or obtained under specific conditions, offering boosts to 0. They come in 3 distinct types. Nurse types aid in recovery, animal types enhance action abilities, and hacker types can actually alter enemies or terrain. They also have rarity and effectiveness determined by a rank, making some much harder to find. The page also teases a mysterious cyber elf named Unknown X, who appears when Zero is in trouble, even granting him the iconic Z-Saber. Screenshots show Zero in action, dialogue scenes with CL, the menu screens for managing cyber elves, and a boss encounter with Anubis necromances. It looks like a challenging evolution of the classic Mega Man formula. This page delves into the structure of Mega Man Zero, explaining that stages are composed of missions given by CL. Your performance in these missions, based on time taken and damage received, is evaluated on a 7-rank scale, which in turn affects the difficulty and moves of the bosses. It then introduces the first 3 stages. Stage 1, the Research Lab, features missions like escaping while protecting CL and recovering data, culminating in battles against bosses such as the Golem Type A and the Steel Demon God, Maha Ganesharath. Stage 2, the Old Metropolis, is set beneath a ruined city. Here, missions involve rescuing scrap reploids and stopping a giant mechanoid, leading to encounters with executive officers like the Blazing Wings, Aztec Falcon, and the Headlong Rush, High-Leg Arrowbuckle, who are trying to clear out the resistance base. Finally, Stage 3, the Underground Railway, tasks Zero with destroying a transport train used by Neo Arcadia to control cyber elves. This fight culminates in a battle against the Pantheon Core, the source of this control, and shows Zero obtaining and using the shield boomerang weapon. The page provides screenshots highlighting key moments and boss encounters in each stage. This page takes a look at Shining Soul on the Game Boy Advance, highlighting its key feature: 4-player simultaneous cooperative play via link cable, allowing friends to explore dungeons together and coordinate strategies. The focus shifts to the 4 playable character classes and how to develop them. It introduces the warrior as an all-around character specializing in melee combat, recommending focusing on strength and dexterity. The dragon warrior is described as a powerful close-range fighter with high attack and recommended flail skills. The archer excels at ranged combat, with abilities like critical hits, best developed by increasing dexterity. Finally, the mage is the magic user, powerful with spells like Inferno, and benefits most from increasing intelligence. The page provides screenshots showing character stats and gameplay, illustrating the recommended development paths for each class. This breakdown helps players understand the unique strengths and playstyles available, encouraging them to build a balanced party for their adventures. This page from the 64 Dream magazine dives into the early stages of Shining Soul on the Game Boy Advance, offering tips and insights for players. It's broken down stage by stage, starting with Stage 1, Beast Mountain, which serves as the first dungeon. It's recommended to grind experience here, aiming for level 3 or higher before facing the boss. Using healing items freely when your inventory is full is a smart move. The boss is a formidable-looking beast. Stage 2, Labyrinth des Shadow, introduces more varied enemies, including those who attack from a distance with arrows or magic. The advice is to level up steadily and prioritize taking down ranged attackers. The boss here is a colossal giant soldier. Moving on to Stage 3, Igor's Cave. You'll encounter enemies using ice attacks and possessing high physical strength. The map is large and can be confusing. If you've acquired the soul item, equip it to deal with high HP enemies. The boss, Bulzam, is highlighted for its high attack power. Finally, Stage 4, Forest of Different Dimension, is described as quite challenging. If you're struggling with the boss, Mishaela, the page suggests returning to the village to regroup and level up from the start of the stage. Mishaela can create illusions, and you need to find and attack the real one, which might be tough for characters focused solely on direct attacks. This page is packed with news on Konami's latest for the Game Boy Advance. Front and center is Power Pro Kun Pocket 4, highlighting its incredibly unique new success mode, the Fantasy Arc. Breaking from the series' baseball roots, this mode plunges you into a world of swords and magic, playing out like an RPG, where you explore dungeons, visit shops, battle monsters, and even face off against a dragon boss, all while training your character. Of course, the game still includes the familiar success mode and the core baseball gameplay, featuring pro teams and even high school teams, along with pennant mode simulations. Below that, the page announces the arrival of World Soccer Winning 11 on the GBA. The excitement from the PlayStation series is brought to the handheld, featuring recognizable gameplay with easy-to-use graphics and simple controls. Adding to the buzz, Japanese football legend Masashi Gon Nakayama is featured as the game's image character. You can choose from strong international teams and dive into matches. This page continues showcasing exciting Konami titles for the Game Boy Advance. Featured prominently is Castlevania, A Courier of Sorrow, the next installment in the beloved series. It introduces a fascinating new system called Spell Fusion, which dramatically expands your combat options. By combining sub-weapons with specific magic books, you can unlock a wide variety of powerful attacks, making combat more strategic and diverse, as shown in the screenshots demonstrating different effects of the iconic cross sub-weapon. Key characters like the enigmatic Death and a helpful merchant are also depicted, hinting at the allies and foes you'll encounter in this dark adventure. Below that, the page spotlights Konami Arcade Advanced, a collection bringing classic 1980s arcade hits to the GBA. While the collection features 6 games, this preview focuses on 2 gems, Yai Ar Kung Fu and Frogger. Yai Ar Kung Fu is highlighted as a pioneering fighting game. You can challenge the computer or connect with a friend for a 2P match via link cable. The screenshots show the intense martial arts combat and tease the inclusion of new characters to master. Meanwhile, Frogger brings the timeless challenge of guiding a frog across treacherous roads and rivers. It's simple, yet incredibly addictive. The page notes you can enjoy the classic single-player experience or jump into a competitive 2P mode with just one cartridge. Screenshots capture the familiar perilous journey. This page features 2 more GBA titles from Konami. First up is K1 Pocket Grand Prix, bringing the intensity of the K1 fighting circuit to the handheld. It's highlighted that this isn't just a simple fighter. It requires strategy and effective use of combination techniques, like those using the B button and directional inputs. Screenshots showcase various fighters in action, demonstrating specific combos and finishing moves, emphasizing the importance of timing and execution to secure a knockout. The reviewer points out that the game moves just like the real Skrek 1 characters, and rewards strategic play, beyond just basic attacks. Below that is Kami no Kijutsu Illusion of the Evil Eyes, a strategic card battle game played out on a hex-based board. The unique win condition involves accumulating victory points, or VP, and successfully declaring victory. This requires not only earning VP efficiently, but also preventing your opponent from invading your territory with their cards. While it might look simple at first glance, the reviewer notes the game's deep strategy becomes apparent the more you play, offering a rewarding experience close to a sense of exhilaration. Screenshots illustrate key steps like deck building, playing cards into enemy territory, and the resulting battles on the hex grid, suggesting the GBA version serves as a good entry point for newcomers, while still allowing experts to master its intricacies. This page covers 2 distinct Game Boy Advance titles. First up is Initial D, Another Stage, bringing the popular street racing manga and anime series to the handheld. It's highlighted as not just a standard racing game, but one that reproduces the intense battles through command selection and action. You choose driving lines and techniques for cornering and drifting, emphasizing strategy and timing within short time limits, capturing the tension and realism of the races. The story mode follows the protagonist, Takumi Fujiwara, battling various opponents encountered at the gas station. Screenshots showcase dialogue scenes, menu options for linking up for battles or customizing parts, and gameplay moments showing the driving line and technique prompts during corners. Below that is Jisen Pachisuro Koryakuho, Juwu Advance, a simulation game based on the popular Beast King Pachislot machine series. It allows players to practice and strategize for the real machines. Key features include practice modes to perfect your technique, and a system handbook function to record detailed data for each simulated machine, helping you analyze performance and predict potential winning machines. The game aims to recreate the atmosphere, look, and sound of the actual Pachislot experience on the GBA. Screenshots display the Pachislot machine interface during gameplay, and detailed data screens summarizing results per machine. This page dives into the Game Boy Advance title Domokun no Fushigi Terebi, highlighting a specific shooting game featured within it called Majoko Tachan. The core gameplay loop involves shooting water bombs to make flowers bloom, but collecting colored fruits adds a twist, transforming the mischievous witch character into various monsters, and challenging bosses across 4 distinct stages. The page details a range of power-ups attainable through fruit collection, from rapid fire and spread shots to bombs and temporary invincibility, visually indicating the fruit combinations required for each ability. It then breaks down the bosses for each stage. The initial giant mushroom with its laser weakness, a fierce dragon-like creature requiring simultaneous attacks on its parts and dodging fireballs, a pair of snowmen best tackled with alternating attacks, and a formidable giant robot accompanied by smaller bots. The guide provides tips and strategies for overcoming each unique boss challenge, showcasing the diverse enemies you'll face in this surprisingly deep minigame. This page dives into the Game Boy Advance title, Legend of the River King 5. Kawa no Nushitsuri 5, offering essential tips for aspiring anglers. It focuses on helping players navigate the game's early areas, specifically up to Area 4, by detailing effective fishing tackle choices. The guide explains the importance of selecting the right bait or lure, noting that mastering tackle choice makes catching fish significantly easier and is crucial for completing the in-game fishing notes. It features screenshots illustrating the area progression system, accessed via a specific door from the starting point, emphasizing that areas must be cleared sequentially. The page also highlights a table showing fish preferences for different tackle, explaining that higher numbers indicate greater interest, while 0 means no interest at all. Furthermore, it touches upon the relationship between the fish's shadow size and the fishing line, advising that thicker lines can reduce a fish's interest, and recommending players choose their line accordingly. The bulk of the page is a comprehensive table listing numerous fish species found in the first 4 areas, showing their numerical preference for various types of bait, insects, and lures, along with brief notes and their appearance area, providing a valuable resource for players aiming to fill out their logbook. Mega Man Battle Network 2's postgame unlocks a hidden scenario, Yura Internet, accessible from a star-marked save file. Players navigate through complex areas, Yura Internet 4-7, to confront 3 bosses, Pharaoh Man, Napalm Man, and Planet Man. The ultimate challenge is defeating Base, Forte, a notoriously difficult final boss with powerful abilities. Successfully defeating Base rewards the player with his Navi chip. The page includes maps and screenshots, emphasizing the difficulty and strength of the final confrontation. The sidebar provides basic game information, developed by Capcom, released in 2001, and playable on Game Boy Advance. Mega Man Battle Network 2's challenging WWW area features 3 progressively difficult boss battles. WWW Area 1, accessible at level 70, pits Mega Man against Pharaoh Man, a navy defending with coffins. Fire attribute, piercing attacks are key. WWW Area 2, requiring 14 plus V3 navy chips, features Napalm Man, a military navy with turrets. Dodging attacks and avoiding the devastating napalm bomb are crucial. Finally, WWW Area 3, requiring over 200 chips, confronts Planet Man, a Navi from a crashed UFO. His small battle area forces Mega Man to use program advances or multi-panel chips. This page gives us a detailed look at Snap Kids for the Game Boy Advance, focusing on finding hidden events and rare creatures. The game features a deep snap system and is accessible even for card game beginners. You can find many optional sub-events by exploring off the beaten path, but be warned, some are only available before you defeat the area keeper, so you need to look carefully. Finding rare wonder creatures is key. The article explains you can get them by using certain items or through communication with other players. It points out specific areas, like Guru Guru Lake in the ocean area, where an event reveals a new type of wonder. Also, the game has a hide-and-seek element, with a character named Hirotaka hidden in each area. Finding him before beating the area boss earns you rare wonder cards. Some wonder can even transform their appearance when you use specific items on them. The most coveted creatures are the dragons, described as super rare. You can only snap these fearsome beasts after clearing the game through the Wonder Investigation Team event, or by trading with friends using the communication link cable. Each game cartridge might only have one type of dragon, making trading essential to collect them all. Illustrations show several cool dragons like Suiryu, Baramoa, Winds, and Kronos, alongside screenshots depicting the game's exploration and potential battle scenes. This game looks like it has a lot of hidden content to discover. This page is a fantastic guide for Snap Kids players, detailing how 100 different wonders react to various items. The large table lists numerous wonders and shows their reactions to common items found early in the game, like apples, radios, meat, fireworks, and mirrors. The table uses symbols to indicate the reaction. A filled circle means the wonder will move towards the item no matter where you throw it, signifying it's a favorite. An open circle means they react, but stay put. The guide mentions that these favorite items, marked with a filled circle, can sometimes trigger special actions or even add skills to the Wonders card. Two small screenshots show these interactions in action, one showing a shopkeeper named Yuriko, likely where you buy items, and another showing the Wonder Cold, happily checking its style in a mirror, which the text notes is one of its favorites. This table is invaluable for anyone trying to get the best photos and discover all the reactions in the game, directly building on the item interaction concepts discussed on the previous page. This page is a fantastic spring break shopping guide for Game Boy Advance players, breaking down recommended titles based on how you want to play. The guide features games perfect for enjoying the break, highlighting software released for both GBA and GameCube. The main focus is on GBA software, split into 3 handy categories. First up is software you can all have fun playing together, recommending games great for multiplayer using just one cartridge. They feature classics like Bomberman Story and Mario Kart Advance, along with the unique detective mahjong game, Mahjong Keiji. Next is software you can easily play anytime, perfect for quick sessions on the go. This includes the fast-paced puzzle action of Choo Choo Rocket, quote, the latest entry in the legendary shooter series Gradue's Generation, and the addictive digging challenge of Mr. Driller 2. Finally, software you can enjoy slowly alone highlights deep single-player experiences. The groundbreaking RPG Golden Sun is mentioned, alongside the critically acclaimed legal adventure series Ace Attorney, and the challenging roguelike Torneko no Daibuken 2. The guide also includes Snapkids, the unique photo-taking RPG we just saw detailed on the previous page.
This guide offers solid choices no matter your preferred playstyle.
This page shifts focus from the Game Boy Advance to highlight the hot console, the GameCube. It proudly presents the editorial department's top 6 recommended GameCube titles from the 17 games released by March 20, 2002. With a nod to the upcoming Resident Evil and Star Wars titles. The recommendations are solid. SSX Tricky delivers exhilarating, fast-paced snowboarding action with stylish tricks. Super Monkey Ball is a tense, addictive action game where you roll a monkey and a ball through challenging courses. Super Smash Bros. Melee is hailed as a masterpiece, balancing accessibility for newcomers with incredible depth for experienced players. Cubivore is a unique action game where you evolve a weak animal into the king of beasts. Animal Crossing offers a relaxing life simulation experience where you enjoy daily life, interact with charming residents, and can even visit other players' towns.
Pikmin is a strategic adventure where you command adorable plant creatures to help repair your spaceship.
Finally, the page gives a peek into the gaming habits of the editorial staff, detailing their personal GameCube and Game Boy Advance software collections. It's interesting to see the different tastes, from those with just a few favorites like SSX Tricky and Animal Crossing, to others with extensive libraries like Endo with 24 GBA titles, or Kayan, who owns the most GC games with 9 titles, including Castlevania and Mario Kart Advance on GBA. They also mentioned owning some unique hardware, like the Panasonic Chu. This page dives into a peculiar adventure surrounding the game Doshin the Giant. It reports on a real-life tour to Bald Island, the game's setting where giants are seen. The tour, originally planned for 21 people over 4 days, was dramatically cut short to just 1 day due to unforeseen circumstances, with only 12 participants managing to return safely. The article details bizarre accidents encountered on the island, including tourists being stepped on by the giants and even buildings collapsing. Apparently, the tour organizers decided to bail out and return to Japan because the situation was getting too risky.
The tourists who made it back shared their wild experiences.
One person mentioned the giant wasn't the usual yellow Doshin, but the red one, Jaishin. Others recounted the thrill of riding in the giant's hand for an amazing view, calling it the best ever. There's also talk about how unfazed the islanders seemed, even when the giant was going on a rampage. It sounds like being the tour conductor on this trip was quite the challenge. Fittingly, the page announces a new strategy guide release for Doshin the Giant, promising to cover everything about Bald Island and its colossal inhabitants. Finally, there's a listing of other strategy guides already available, covering a wide range of Nintendo classics for GameCube, Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Color. It's a neat little catalog for anyone looking to conquer more titles.
This page is a fantastic sticker sheet supplement included with Nintendo Dream Magazine, Volume 68. It kicks off with a year-long calendar running from April 2002 to March 2003, featuring a diverse cast of popular GameCube characters for each month, including the adorable Pikmin, the heroic Mario and Luigi, the charming KK Slider from Animal Crossing, Fox McCloud from Star Fox Adventures, Kirby from Kirby Air Ride, and the colossal Doshin the Giant, tying into the previous page's feature. Interestingly, characters like Aldness from Earthbound and a creature from Cubivore also make appearances. Beyond the calendar, there's a large collection of stickers dedicated to Doshin the Giant, showing the big yellow guy and various islanders and elements from his world. Plenty of cute Pikmin stickers are also included in different colors and poses. A practical addition is stickers designed specifically to label your GameCube memory card. Finally, the sheet features vertical title stickers for several prominent GameCube games of the era, such as Resident Evil, Star Wars, Rogue Squadron 2, NBA Courtside 2002, and NBA Street, perfect for customizing your game cases. It's a cool collectible, offering a snapshot of Nintendo's lineup at the time. This page features a vibrant yellow background with a distinctive torn edge along the right side, revealing a gray, textured material underneath. Faint vertical lines are visible across the surface, suggesting a subtle grid or background pattern. This page dives into the fan mail section, the GameSoft Fun Club 3, featuring reader contributions and editorial notes. The editor, Mashi, kicks things off by mentioning it's been a year since they became Nindori, from 64 Dream, and that they're currently obsessed with Fire Emblem, the Binding Blade. First up is the Super Smash Bros. Melee Fan Club, where readers share their favorite characters and moves. They're gathering submissions for a character ranking coming in the July issue. Featured here are passionate pleas for characters like Marth, praised for being strong, Roy, called cool and popular particularly for his Blazer move, and even Dry Mario, hilariously dubbed a violent doctor. Next is the Animal Crossing Fan Club. There's a special project planned for next month, and readers are encouraged to participate. Fans submitted cute illustrations and thoughts on the game, mentioning popular characters like KK Slider and sharing their custom designs. Finally, the Fire Emblem Fan Club celebrates the upcoming release of Fire Emblems, the Binding Blade, which the staff is already playing and hooked on, especially Lilina. Readers sent in fan art and comments about the game's characters. The section also serves as a call to action, asking readers to send in their best strategies, recommended characters, and weapon usage tips for the new game. The editor confesses a strong liking for Diek and is eagerly anticipating more character illustrations, particularly of Elin. This page is packed with fan contributions across several popular Nintendo series. It kicks off with the Mario Family Fan Club, where fans are buzzing about the latest images from Mario Sunshine, particularly the revelation that the water tank is for cleaning up graffiti. A classic Nintendo twist. Readers also share their hopes for a remake of Super Mario RPG on the GBA, and cheer on characters like Wario, Mario, especially in golf, and the always popular Peach. Next up is the Mother Revival Prayer Committee, showing the enduring love for the Earthbound series. Fans reminisce about their favorite scenes and music, with a special nod to the tunes from the first Mother game. There's a strong plea from readers for a remake, specifically a Mother 1+2 collection for the GBA, highlighting character moments and the game's emotional impact. The Pokemon Fan Club showcases reader art for a humanization project, turning beloved Pokemon like Snorlax, Parasect, Butterfree, and Houndoom into human characters. Prompted by the recent reveal of new Pokemon, fans are getting creative, and the section is looking for ideas for future fan projects. Finally, the game character ranking section highlights fan picks for favorite character duos, like Fox and Falco, character types, like cool characters or those who can eat a lot, and individual fan favorites like Samus Aran and Crimea from Fire Emblem. They're actively seeking new ideas for future ranking topics, asking readers what makes a game character truly appealing. This page delves into fan feedback for 3 major Nintendo series. The Kirby Fan Club section shares reader hopes for the upcoming GameCube title, mentioning the delay of Super Kirby 2, but encouraging fans to enjoy the SFC and anime versions. Fans submitted art and thoughts on characters like Adeline, Ribbon, and Waddle Dee, with particular affection shown for classic characters from Kirby's Adventure and Kirby 2. Next, the Zelda Fan Club focuses on character suggestions for the GameCube Zelda game. Fans are eager to see characters like Skull Kid, Princess Ruto, and Saria return, with many hoping for more focus on pairings like Link and Zelda. There's also a humorous submission featuring Tingle,
showing the wide range of fan favorites. The Star Fox Fan Club celebrates the upcoming release of Star Fox Adventures on May 31st, coinciding with the World Cup opening. Fans are excited about the new character Crystal and speculate on the meanings behind the Star Fox team's names. Reader artwork features the classic team members Fox, Falco, Slippy, and Peppy, alongside the new addition Crystal, showing anticipation for the Dinosaur Planet adventure. Finally, the entertainment corner includes a Q&A about Nintendo's financial situation and a section showcasing various fan illustrations, demonstrating the creativity of the readers across different game franchises. This page presents the third installment of the manga series Dream Drunker Gaiden by Shigehisa Nakahata. The story features the protagonist, likely Amos, and a girl named Gina, confronting a massive, dark monster in what Gina explains is Amos's dream world. She reveals that in this place, anything he thinks becomes reality. Facing the terrifying creature, Amos becomes anxious and asks how to escape. Gina tells him he should be able to leave just by thinking about it, but then expresses surprise when he seems unable to. The manga ends with Amos trying desperately to wish himself out, only to be blocked by the looming monster. A caption at the bottom notes, "This is the third episode," referencing Amos heading to Koopa's castle to save Light and questioning Koopa's role, emphasizing this is an original story separate from the game. This page continues the Dream Drunker Gaiden manga. We see Bowser, Koopa in Japanese, in his castle, complaining about how bored he is, even mentioning he's finished playing Super Smash Bros. Suddenly, there's a commotion outside his castle. Bowser initially thinks it's an attack, maybe even Mario making a move. But then the human character from the previous page, Amos, appears. Bowser recognizes him as Light's acquaintance, and asks why he isn't with Light today. Amos seems to realize something, and says he sees that Bowser isn't involved after all. As Amos starts to explain the situation, the castle begins to explode. Amos reveals that Light is unconscious. Bowser then adds that witness testimony points to a giant turtle being involved, leading Amos to connect the unconsciousness to the turtle, implying Bowser is somehow responsible, just as the castle takes serious damage. This page continues the Dream Drunker Gaiden manga. Bowser, bored out of his skull, summons a shy guy to fetch him a specific book. It reveals it's a bestiary he wrote during his travels around the world. Using his book, Bowser examines the symptoms of Light's unconsciousness and identifies them as the work of a creature called a Yumegame. Amos is astonished that Bowser knows this and asks for an explanation. Bowser describes the Yumegame as a mystical guardian of the dream world, capable of taking people's souls there and bringing them back, stating that finding it is essential to wake Light. Amos is eager to know where to find this creature. Bowser admits he summoned the Yumegame to his castle years ago but lost contact, believing it shouldn't be too far away. He then abruptly decides to leave immediately to search for it himself, leaving a worried Amos behind who fears the consequences if they can't find it quickly. This page continues the Dream Drunker Gaiden manga. Bowser declares that today he's feeling lucky, despite claiming he was almost dead earlier, perhaps referring to his difficulty finding the Yumegame in the previous page. He then suddenly launches a treasure hunt for the crying black-haired character, likely Kish, based on the shout. Bowser gathers his minions, announcing the hunt will take place in the desert. He shows a wanted poster, featuring a caricature of Kish, promising anything the finder wants as a prize, along with a year's exemption from the rotational chain chomp walking duty. With the hunt officially started, Bowser leads his forces towards the desert, while Kish is shown riding away on horseback, as the story is set to continue. This page features the Game Music Fan Club, focusing on the recently released soundtrack for The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. The page showcases the album cover art, a beautifully eerie image reflecting the game's unique tone. The text highlights that this is a 2-disc set containing a massive 112 tracks, praising how the music perfectly captures the game's atmosphere and evokes strong emotions. It touches on various musical pieces, from the iconic ocarina songs to the themes of Clocktown and memorable event music. The reviewer mentions the music is quite difficult but rewarding to play, especially the ocarina pieces, and notes the pervasive sense of unease and mystery created by many tracks, recalling specific moments like the Song of Healing or the unsettling feeling during certain events. The page also includes reader feedback, one letter praising the quality of the soundtrack and its ability to bring back memories of playing the game. Another reader discusses their preference for game soundtracks with strong character themes and varied arrangements, expressing a desire for more soundtracks like the one for the upcoming Mario Sunshine. The complete track listings for both discs are also provided for dedicated fans. This page features a special cutout sheet from Nintendo Dream Magazine, offering readers various themed cards. At the top are private cards, designed for personal contact information like name, address, phone, and email, featuring popular characters such as KK Slider and villagers from Animal Crossing, as well as Captain Olimar and different Pikmin from the Pikmin series. Below these are two fun student ID cards, one for Nindori Gakuen, Nintendo Dream Academy, and another for Bancho Gakuen, referencing sections within the magazine itself, allowing readers to fill in details like their faculty, name, or even a Bancho leader status. Finally, there are Animal Leader yellow and red cards, which are warning cards featuring characters from the game Cubivore, known as Dobutsu Bancho in Japan, intended to be shown to people to issue a warning or a stricter reprimand. The next page presents a collection of cutout features for readers, continuing the theme from the previous page. At the top are several blank profile cards under the Nintendo Dream banner, designed for personal information such as name, birthday, and a brief comment, ready to be cut out and used. Building on the Cubivore-inspired warning cards, there are dedicated spaces to write the reason for yellow card and reason for red card, explaining why a warning or reprimand was given. These sections also include explanations for the warning levels, detailing actions like being careful for a yellow card, and the more severe concept of kotetsu, or dismissal, for a red card, which involves replacing someone in a role, like changing a minister. The page provides simple instructions on how to carefully cut out the cards. Additionally, there are principles outlined for submitting content to Nindori Gakuen, the magazine's reader participation section, explaining the submission process and providing an email address. Concluding the page is the Bancho Gakuen School Song, featuring humorous lyrics that encapsulate the Bancho philosophy, further connecting to the magazine's leader theme and the Animal Leader, Dobutsu Bancho Cubivore, game. This page is a striking full-page advertisement for Biohazard, known internationally as Resident Evil. It features rendered character models of protagonists Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine against a spooky mansion backdrop, promoting the survival horror experience. The page is also designed to be cut out as a mini poster. The next page features a dynamic promotional image for Biohazard, known internationally as Resident Evil. It showcases 4 key members of the Raccoon Police Department's STARS, Special Tactics and Rescue Service team: Barry Burton, Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, and Rebecca Chambers. The characters are rendered in 3D and posed dynamically against a swirling blue background, with their names displayed next to them. The page is designed to be cut out along a dotted line on the right side, transforming it into a mini poster, following up on the previous page's similar design. The copyright information indicates it's from Capcom and covers the period between 1996 and 2002. This page dives into the heart of the Resident Evil series, specifically the remake on the Nintendo GameCube. It highlights the dual protagonists, Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, the two iconic STARS members tasked with investigating the disappearance of the Bravo team in the infamous Arklay Mountains. The narrative sets the scene. The Bravo team lost contact while investigating strange murders, leading the Alpha team, including Chris and Jill, to be dispatched. After finding the Bravo team's crashed helicopter, they are attacked by monstrous dogs and forced to seek refuge in a nearby eerie mansion, the setting for the entire nightmare. The page explains that the player chooses either Chris or Jill at the start, and while the core story is the same, the gameplay experience differs based on who you pick. It contrasts their abilities. Chris is tougher and can take more damage but has fewer item slots and is slower, while Jill is less durable but can carry more items and gets access to powerful weapons like the grenade launcher early on. Screenshots showcase key moments, including the character select screens, interior shots of the mansion, and interactions with other STARS members like Barry Burton and Albert Wesker. It effectively captures the atmosphere and core mechanics of this survival horror classic. This page reveals some terrifying new details about the zombies in the Resident Evil remake. It announces the arrival of the Crimson Head, a revived and much more dangerous form of the standard undead. Regular zombies, even when seemingly defeated, aren't truly gone. They can reanimate with increased speed and ferocity, sporting sharp claws that make them a completely different kind of threat. The page also introduces a crucial new mechanic, the defense item system. These items, available for the first time in the series, are automatically used when a monster grabs you, allowing for an emergency escape. 2 specific items are highlighted: the dagger knife, usable by both Chris and Jill to stab the enemy's head when grabbed, and the stun gun, a Jill-exclusive item that delivers a powerful electrical shock, instantly reversing the situation. Both items have limited uses, adding a layer of strategy to their deployment. This system provides players with a critical last-ditch option to survive unexpected grabs and counter the enhanced dangers, like the swift Crimson Heads. This page delves into the core survival mechanics of the Resident Evil remake, focusing on the essential gear for Chris and Jill. It explains that while item inventory is limited, Chris can carry 6 items, Jill 8. There are standard items they always have with them, crucial for navigating the mansion. We see 2 key examples: Chris's trusty lighter, indispensable for lighting dark areas, and, spoiler alert, burning zombies to prevent the dreaded Crimson Head reanimation. Jill, on the other hand, gets the lockpick, which lets her bypass certain locked doors that Chris would need a small key for. The page also touches on the emergency evasion system again, reinforcing the concept of using defense items like the dagger knife for a last-second escape when grabbed. Below this, there are 4 STARS tactical files offering survival wisdom. File 1 advises avoiding combat whenever possible, as ammo and healing items are scarce. Sometimes running is the best option. File 2 stresses the importance of staying calm during encounters and making every shot count, suggesting knocking enemies down and then escaping if needed. File 3 highlights the need to assess the situation, including enemy types like the Swift Cerberus, and choose the appropriate weapon or strategy. Finally, File 4 emphasizes thorough exploration, checking every room for items and clues, as the mansion is full of hidden mechanics and puzzles. These tips are essential for anyone hoping to survive the horrors within. This page dives deep into the intricate design of the mansion in the Resident Evil remake, stressing that surviving isn't just about blasting monsters, but also solving complex puzzles scattered throughout the environment. Chris and Jill will find the mansion is full of traps and mechanisms, and you must figure out their secrets to move forward. One example highlighted is the Room of Armor. When you enter, the suits of armor move forward, and there's a button in the center. However, pressing the button is a trap. The real solution involves pushing the armor back into the wall in a specific sequence to open a grate blocking access to a mysterious box. Another section covers the Hallback Cemetery, a completely new area added in the remake. This cemetery features a large tombstone, which surprisingly serves as a hidden entrance to an underground area. To open it, you need to find a special item called the Golden Arrow and combine it with a keyhole part found on the tombstone, then use it on an angel relief ornament. These new areas and puzzle mechanics add fresh challenges that weren't in the original game, making thorough exploration and clever thinking essential for survival. This page continues the dive into the Spencer Mansion's intricate puzzles in the Resident Evil remake. It covers 3 distinct challenge areas. First up is the painting room, filled with mysterious stained glass windows and paintings. Switches beneath the stained glass need to be pressed in a specific order based on clues from the paintings and hidden text. Messing up triggers a trap, summoning a swarm of aggressive crows. Next is the greenhouse, home to a massive tentacled plant blocking your path. To get past this botanical obstacle, you'll need to find a potent herbicide. This is then used with a water pump near the entrance, allowing you to spray the plant via the fountain in the center of the room. Figuring out which switch position administers the herbicide is key to weakening the plant and clearing the way. Finally, the page details the approaching mural corridor. This art-filled hallway has a nasty surprise. The walls close in as you enter. The solution involves using the statues placed near the entrance as shields to prevent being crushed while you move towards the back of the room. Interacting with additional statues at the far end, likely in a symmetrical manner, stops the walls and reveals a hidden passage forward. These sections highlight the variety of environmental puzzles players will face beyond just combat. This page dives into the intense event scenes and terrifying monsters that await players in Resident Evil. As you progress through the mansion and its surrounding areas, the game intersperses gameplay with dramatic moments, showcasing the appearance of monstrous creatures, key encounters with fellow S.TARS members, and the human drama unfolding. The improved graphics lead to truly immersive direction in these scenes. The page features several screenshots highlighting these moments. We see the iconic shot of a zombie slowly opening a door and entering a room, a classic scare. Another image shows a shambling zombie closing in on Jill Valentine. There are scenes involving Chris Redfield venturing outside towards the forest, and a moment with Barry Burton commenting on his age. Jill herself is shown looking pensive, and in another moment asking to be left alone, suggesting mounting tension or personal struggles. A particularly striking scene depicts Jill facing off against a giant spider, a monster described as having a form never seen before and appearing somehow bound or constrained in its appearance. These glimpses promise a story filled with mystery and terrifying new threats. Completing Resident Evil unlocks various rewards. The Closet Key grants new costumes for Chris and Jill. Real Survival Mode, a challenging mode with manual aiming and no item box linking, tests players. Speedrunners can earn the Samurai Edge, a custom handgun, for sub-5-hour playthroughs, or the rocket launcher, with infinite ammo, for sub-3-hour runs. Screenshots showcase these rewards, highlighting the developer's intent to encourage replayability and reward skilled players. This page is all about Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2 on the GameCube. It's a 360-degree shooting game where you get to step into the cockpit as a leader of Rogue Squadron and take the fight to the Galactic Empire. The big goal here is chasing those gold medals, which unlock awesome hidden missions and content beyond the main 10 stages. Clearing missions lets you progress, and your performance dictates whether you earn a medal and what extra stuff you unlock, like being able to choose different iconic Star Wars vehicles for missions, including even taking on Vader himself in his TIE fighter in a special mission. Cage highlights missions 4 and 5, giving you a taste of the action. Mission 4 is the famous Battle of Hoth, emphasizing taking down shield projectors while avoiding destroying friendly transports. Mission 5, titled Razor Rendezvous, or similar, looks like a deep space fleet battle where you're tasked with crippling an Imperial Star Destroyer, focusing on taking out shield generators and the bridge. Earning medals in these means hitting targets fast, staying accurate, and minimizing friendly losses.
This game is pure Star Wars pilot fantasy brought to life.
This page continues our look at Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2, diving into the tactics for 2 more thrilling missions. First up is Mission 6, the Ground Battle of Gossam, where you're tasked with clearing TIE fighters swarming transports, then taking on an Imperial Star Destroyer by blowing away its turrets and punching a hole in its hull. Remember those dreaded Atwalkers? The page recommends using proton bombs to take them down efficiently, and yes, you can even use the classic cable trick. Then we move on to Mission 7, the Imperial Shuttle Capture.
This mission changes depending on whether it's day or night.
The key here is a stealthy approach, slipping into the base unnoticed to destroy Imperial TIE fighters before they can even get off the ground. Speed and precision are crucial for success.
The guide points out tactical tips like destroying turrets to boost your accuracy and using your rear laser. For both missions, the goal is the gold medal, demanding fast clear times, high enemy kill counts, impressive hit rates, and most importantly, not losing your own ship. It's all about mastering these varied objectives to prove you're the best pilot in the galaxy.
This page dives into the quirky and unique world of Cubivore, Survival of the Fittest, known in Japan as Dubutsu Benchou. The reviewer kicks off by asking if you've played it, noting its cute appearance hides a game that taps into raw instinct. The core concept is transformation, or hentaiju. Starting as a simple pig, completing that life cycle leads you to the bear, then the bird. The ultimate goal is to become the king of beasts, the true Banshu, which requires transforming into 100 out of the game's 150 different creature types. The key to transformation and strength lies in absorbing or sucking up other creatures, referred to here as duputsu. The color and combination of creatures you absorb are crucial for determining what you transform into next. Power-ups like kiss points, horn points, snout points, and tongue points are also vital for boosting your abilities. Mastering the art of absorbing the right colors and combinations is essential for progressing through the creature hierarchy and ultimately claiming the title of king. Get ready, because the magazine promises a detailed look at the many forms of hentaiju on the following pages. This page offers strategic advice and a visual guide to the various transformations in Cubivore, Survival of the Fittest. It highlights the importance of saving specific creature forms, called dokkaban, before challenging bosses, suggesting forms optimized for offense or defense depending on the battle. Aiming for the ultimate title of King of Beasts means strategically absorbing creatures based on color and type to achieve specific transformations.
noting that progressing through the hierarchy gets increasingly challenging. The page also emphasizes the role of kubi, mating, in creating diverse forms for Dukkobin registration. To effectively target the complex, mixed, or violent creature types needed for higher levels, the guide advises players to focus on absorbing creatures of the same kind. It suggests using the lock-on feature to identify the creature type and skipping those that don't match your goal. The bottom half of the page presents a comprehensive list of many possible creature transformations, categorized by color and level, detailing their basic stats like HP, attack, and defense, but skipping the specific values for brevity here. This page provides a comprehensive visual guide to the diverse creature transformations available in Cubivore. Survival of the fittest, directly complementing the strategic advice from the previous page. It details the various forms players can achieve by absorbing different creatures, categorized by color types like yellow, red, blue, purple, and gray, and organized by evolutionary levels from 1 to 6. For each listed creature, the page shows an image, its name, and key statistics, including HP, attack power, defense power, and back kick power. It also provides letter grades, indicating their proficiency in dash, jump, and tackle abilities. This chart is essential for players aiming for specific builds or trying to understand the statistical advantages of different transformations as they progress through the game and strive to become the king of beasts. It's a vital resource for mastering the game's core mechanic of evolving and adapting your form. This page is a comprehensive visual guide detailing the various creature forms players can transform into in Cubivore. Survival of the fittest. It's organized into columns representing different color types, yellow, red, blue, purple, and gray, and rows indicating the evolutionary level, from 1 up to the powerful level 6 forms. For each specific transformation, the page provides a small image of the creature and its name. Crucially, it shows the creature's key stats, HP, attack power, defense power, and back kick power, visually represented by bars. Additionally, it gives letter grades, indicating their proficiency in dash, jump, and tackle abilities. This chart is an invaluable reference for players to see the strengths and weaknesses of each potential form and plan their evolutionary path to become the ultimate king of beasts. This page dives deep into the world of Animal Crossing Plus on the GameCube, highlighting some exciting new additions and coveted items, and announces the arrival of the highly anticipated second wave of the Animal Crossing Plus Card E-Series. These new cards bring fantastic new content to the game, including GBA minigames players can access with the e-reader, and classic village melodies composed by the legendary KK Slider himself. The page showcases a few of the charming new characters players might encounter through these cards. Beyond the Card E update, there's a detailed guide on obtaining the prized golden tools: the golden net, catch all bugs; the golden fishing rod, catch all fish; and the golden shovel. Getting these requires dedication, but the page gives helpful tips, like using the GBA island to catch bugs year-round. It also explains the process for growing money trees using the golden shovel, showing screenshots of planting bells and harvesting them. Finally, the page outlines the in-game events happening in April, such as cherry blossom viewing and the spring sports meet, and details the rewards for achieving high scores in the Happy Room Academy, including cool furniture models and miniature replicas of your house, even a 2-story one for the top decorators. It's packed with info for dedicated villagers. This page features the reader submission corner known as Nindori Garden and Munio House. It's a place for readers to share their thoughts, questions, and funny anecdotes related to games and life. The section begins with Munio House, a collection of reader mail compiled by Watakushi and Kai. There's a section called Target for this month, simply aiming to meet Nindori readers. Various reader letters touch upon different games. One discusses Animal Crossing, or perhaps a related game like Dobutsu Bancho, describing a character as hentai. Another reader talks about improving at Super Smash Bros., but still losing to children, a relatable struggle for many gamers. Doshin the Giant is mentioned in a funny story about mishearing its title. Pokemon is also referenced in the context of the Game Boy Advance. The Heartless Tales of That's Ridiculous Failures section is full of humorous mishaps shared by readers, like a cat using a magazine attachment as a litter box, or confusing game titles. Finally, the one-shot Talented Performers section includes general submissions, featuring reader art like a striking character drawing and a grid showcasing various Kirby character poses. It's a fun look into the lives and experiences of the magazine's readers. Nindori Garden, a reader's corner, features Shindora-san, a fictional student representative who philosophizes while adventuring in various game worlds. Readers share bizarre dreams, including one with Smash Bros. Strippers and Peach/Zelda/Koroi/Martha Fair. A reader critiques game industry trends, praising Nintendo's approach and questioning publisher focus on hardware. Another comment worries about expensive, peripheral-heavy games, things that make me wonder, explores reader curiosities, from the GameCube's absence as a TV sponsor, to the Kirby anime's large feet, and even the differing hand icons used. The section also includes a lighthearted discussion about reading Nindori while playing Xbox. This page dives into reader opinions and gaming banter. The main debate asks which Demon King, Bowser or Ganondorf, has a stronger presence, with readers weighing in on both sides with various arguments. Another section, Just Say It, features reader retorts and funny observations, like reacting to someone saying a gorilla couldn't play tennis when discussing Mario Tennis 64, or addressing the wild rumor that Sonic was in Super Smash Bros. Melee. We also get a peek into The Pride of Our Village, highlighting a discovery of vintage Mario trading cards from about 5 years prior, fondly remembered as collector's items. Finally, the Academy Parents Association Corner shares stories from parents navigating the world of games with their kids, from reading Animal Crossing guides to boasting about their own gaming prowess. This page features reader contributions and impressions on various games in the Game Report Card section. It kicks off with an editorial note mentioning the recent influx of hot GameCube titles like Biohazard, Resident Evil, and Star Wars games, and expressing a desire to hear reader thoughts on them. Two main reader reviews are highlighted. The first is for Data Transformer, Load of Genome, where the reviewer notes the game's package mentions violent and extreme content, but finds it to be a card battle game with a complex world and lore. Despite initial confusion, they find the game enjoyable. The second review focuses on the essence of Animal Crossing, arguing that open-ended games like this are about enjoying the outcome or process rather than just reaching a goal, contrasting it with goal-oriented games, and highlighting the social and communication aspects. There's also a game emergency squad, providing a helpful tip for Star Fox 64, Lylat Wars, specifically how to get to Sector Y and save Falco. Finally, a one-word impression section gives brief reader thoughts, praising Animal Crossing Plus for its room decoration, and humorously cautioning about SSX Tricky regarding potential in-game mishaps. This page dives into reader feedback and industry insights, starting with the survey tallying department, where readers weigh in on magazine supplements. The consensus is clear. Supplements are generally good, with most readers accepting a small price increase, if one is included. The most desired items are Nintendo character goods, naturally. Then, reporter Yutaka Tayuchi provides an update from the D.IC.E Summit, where he discusses Nintendo's involvement and industry discussions on game development challenges. He highlights Nintendo winning awards for Game Boy Advance and Pikmin, and mentions other industry figures like Will Wright, creator of SimCity, and The Sims, whose game Halo for Xbox also received recognition. It's noted that more details on future Nintendo projects discussed there will be revealed at E3. There are also links to organizations like AIAS and the D.IC.E Summit website for those who want to learn more about the awards and event. This page features Lecture 19 of Nindori Gakuen, which is another reader EQ, and a special with Desu Senin. The mysterious sage answers questions on various topics. One reader asks why playing Game Boy or Game Boy Color games on the Game Boy Advance in widescreen mode makes vertical movement feel slower than horizontal. Desu Senin explains it's an optical illusion created by stretching the display, not an actual change in speed. Another question concerns a controller automatically recentering, which Desu Senin attributes to potential issues with the controller's internal setup, though he notes the cause is unclear. There's also a technical query about whether smaller 8 cm optical discs can hold more data than room cartridges, to which the sage explains that while theoretically possible, current manufacturing and cost factors favor optical discs for larger data storage. Finally, a reader struggles with their GameCube clock constantly being 2 minutes off, a problem Desu Senin admits is baffling and without an obvious solution. The page also includes this month's Desu Senin, featuring a reader letter asking about the beverage Drive Pepper, leading the sage to ponder its availability. A small ad for Dr. Pepper is also included. This page kicks off Volume 8 of the Capcom vs. SND Corner, a fun collaboration between Capcom and Nindori, Super Nindori, as the name SND implies. The big news highlighted is the surprising announcement that Capcom vs. SNK 2 is coming to GameCube. Capcom's PR representative Kana Urasawa, who is well known for cosplaying Chun-Li, shares her excitement, saying it's something many fans have requested. GameCube owners finally get to join the crossover fighting fun. Also featured is information on the official Capcom goods mail-order site, ecap.com, where fans can find games and character merchandise. Kana Urasawa even appears modeling some Chun-Li themed items available for purchase. The recurring Capcom style vs. Dojo section returns. This time, the segment features a punishment game for Kana Urasawa after her previous loss in Mega Man Battle Network 2. Her penalty is cleaning the office. The main match for this volume is a survival battle in Final Fight, played at a game center. Colonel Kai emerges victorious, reaching the second boss, while Urasawa Kana's performance leads to her punishment. Finally, there's a giveaway, offering plushies based on the Game Boy Advance software Hitsuji no Kimochi. This page presents the Akihabara Price Research Team's findings, specifically focusing on Game Boy Advance software prices as of March 11th. The headline points out this month's price trend, noting that contrary to expectations for clearance sales before the financial year end, prices remained largely stagnant compared to the previous month. Surprisingly, many GBA titles actually saw a price increase. The bulk of the page is dedicated to a comprehensive table listing a vast number of GBA games, showing their genre, suggested retail price, the lowest observed price in Akihabara's Electric Town, release dates, publishers, player counts, and details on multiplayer and link cable support. It's a treasure trove of data for anyone tracking the market value of GBA games. This page features the unique god simulation game Doshin the Giant, presented as an interview titled, "You've Grown So Big Heart." The page highlights the titular character, Doshin, described as a game character with a height ranging from 7.5 meters up to a staggering 300 meters and a kind personality. It also introduces the game's creator, Kazutoshi Ida, noted with a height of 170 centimeters and a strong-willed personality. The vibrant artwork shows the massive yellow giant seated on a tropical island landscape, surrounded by tiny islanders and various elements from the game world, with the creator standing near the giant's large foot, emphasizing the scale difference. This image perfectly captures the essence of Doshin the Giant, where you play as this benevolent, or sometimes not so benevolent, figure, shaping the land and interacting with the miniature inhabitants. This page continues the focus on Doshin the Giant, featuring an interview with the game's director, Kazutoshi Ida. The discussion delves into the development process, touching upon working at Nintendo HQ and the unique remote work setup that allowed the team to create the game. Ida highlights the meticulous polishing phase, expressing surprise at the level of detail refined by the Nintendo team. He also reflects on whether becoming a father changed his perspective on games. While he feels his overall view hasn't shifted, he notes that this Doshin feels more user-friendly, perhaps influenced by thinking about his child. The interview also covers the continuous improvement of Doshin's abilities and the game's balance. Finally, the character of Jushin, the disliked red giant, is discussed, noting his hidden power and contrasting public and private behavior, which is seen as him fulfilling a hidden desire. The page features a photo of Ida and an illustration of Jushin. The next page continues the interview about Doshin the Giant, delving deeper into the game's scale and mechanics. The director, Ida, explains that the GameCube version feels much larger than the 64DD version, with the range players can influence feeling up to 3 or even 5 times bigger. He attributes this sense of scale partly to the improved graphics and the smoother motion of the islanders. He jokes about the funny sound Doshin makes when stepping. Creating mountains like Fuji and seeing the world from above enhances the experience. Players can terraform and create paths to guide islanders. Ibata also talks about the fun of playing as Jushin, who has a huge jump ability. The game allows placing various objects, but there are limits on how many can be placed before older ones disappear. The interview highlights that the GameCube version clarified the game's purpose, making monument creation a key element. Both developers and players can get deeply engrossed in shaping the world. Favorite features include terrain creation, collecting boxes, and the beautiful, dynamic water effects with tides. The page includes screenshots showing Jushin, Doshin, placed objects, a landscape, and an underwater scene, plus a photo from a Shibuya event. The interview continues with Ida discussing the giant encyclopedia, highlighting its diorama-like visuals. He shares an anecdote about the 64DD tree planting animation, where energy entering the ground upon planting was a timing issue he worried about but didn't mention to others. Miyamoto noticed it immediately. Ida also discusses favorite scenes, the game's monument building needing flowers, and the amazing islander evolution. He notes the careful balance of game mechanics, like tree lifespans, achieved through extensive playtesting. The interview concludes with a section about islanders' placement, including screenshots showcasing the game's features. This page continues the interview about Doshin the Giant with Ida. He shares details about the island population, which is about 300, noting how it's satisfying to see it grow. He mentions the technical leap from 64DD to GameCube, particularly the vastly improved draw distance, and praises the GameCube controls, finding the camera and movement controls intuitive. Ida discusses player interaction with the islanders, including the challenge of avoiding stepping on them, and the amusing concept of pulling out troublesome individuals. A significant part of the discussion revolves around Jashin, the black giant. Ikuta explains the strategic use of transforming into Jashin for quick travel between villages, detailing how he tries to revert to Doshin just before landing to avoid being hated by the islanders. He highlights Jashin's destructive power and the conflicting feeling of destroying villages you built as Doshin. This duality extends to the islanders, whose architecture changes depending on how they feel about the giant, even building aggressive structures like cannons if they dislike you. Ida notes that both the giant and the islanders have two sides. Screenshots feature Doshin, Jashin, and Jashin's impactful shockwave attack. In a Doshin the Giant interview, director Kenji Ida discusses islanders' feelings towards the giant, noting it's easier to be disliked than liked, but player actions influence these feelings. Wildlife, including cattle, sheep, pigs, chickens, fish, and birds, plays a role in Doshin's growth, with eating fish making birds bigger and larger birds increasing Doshin's size. Melon design was somewhat improvised. The shift from GameCube to GameCube for Doshin 1 was due to the GameCube's accessibility and ease of development compared to the 64DD. The GameCube version, a co-development with Nintendo, was a result of the original 64DD plan's difficulties and Nintendo's desire to push new ideas, taking shape in the spring/summer of the previous year and culminating in its E3 2001 reveal. The next page continues the interview, where the discussion shifts to the 64DD. Director Kenji Ida reflects on the 64DD as a very important platform for him, stating he might not have made games on the N64 or created Doshin the Giant without it. He highlights the 64DD's unique characteristics like the magnetic disc and network capabilities, contrasting them with the GameCube's disc and memory card setup. Although the 64DD wasn't a commercial success, he believes the ideas and effort put into it were not in vain, citing the birth of games like Animal Crossing. Ida discusses the GameCube version's development challenges, like the memory card save size. He also touches on the game's central theme of contradiction, visible in elements like color schemes and the concepts of love and hate within Doshin. He feels contradiction is a fundamental part of human nature and game design. There's a note about his company name, Parappa, having a meaning related to Sanskrit. The page includes a 64DD Bean knowledge section, providing background on the peripheral's 1999 launch, its features like magnetic discs and network connectivity, and its service ending in 2001 due to challenges like the high entry barrier. Images include artwork, the 64DD console, a 64DD member Christmas card, the Doshin, the giant adventure picture book cover, and a photo of Ida looking at a newspaper advertisement for the game. The next page continues the fascinating interview with director Kenji Ida, diving deeper into Doshin the Giant. He discusses potential future changes for Doshin on 64DD or GameCube, suggesting a shift in his own mindset might be visible. The interview also touches on the possibility of an international release, noting strong interest from overseas players, especially for the dark character Jashin. Ida acknowledges the popularity of Wario over Mario in some regions, and expresses a desire to meet that expectation. They talk about potential Doshin merchandise and events, with Ida mentioning a desire to display the game at events, perhaps even placing a large, impactful statue like the orange Doshin shown here. The GameCube release date is confirmed as September 14th, and Ida humorously recounts his experience buying the console like any other user, getting up early
and lining up. A sidebar highlights Ida's earlier works, including Aqua Resort no Kyujitsu and Tale of the Sun, noting how the concept of a giant's footprint featured in his 1996 game, Tale of the Sun, influencing the player's journey. The interview concludes by asking about his childhood dream, to which Ida replies he didn't really have one in the traditional sense, unlike others who wanted to be firefighters. He was more into imaginative play, like pretending to be a rocket launching from a chair, a scene amusingly depicted in a photo.
Director Kenji Ida, in a continued interview, discusses his favorite animals, shapeshifters like chicks and tadpoles, a significant childhood experience involving a second-grade school transfer, and the influence of imaginative play. His favorite game is The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, praising its logical progression. While joking about disliking game creation, he highlights recent non-game-related enjoyment. He values family, admires Nintendo's work ethic, and finds his job exciting. Ida's strengths lie in art and Japanese, with math being a challenge. He respects programmers, and reveals a background in oil painting, and subsequent realization that game development was a viable career path. This page features the Nintendo official Q&A section, answering reader questions. It opens with excitement about the spring news, including announcements like Mario Tennis and Square returning to Nintendo hardware after 5 years, building anticipation for the GameCube and Game Boy Advance. There's a character data file on Fox McCloud, highlighting his upcoming appearance in Star Fox Adventures, and his origins in the Super Famicom Star Fox. It mentions Takaya Imamura was involved in his character design, and touches upon a quirky rumor about a real-life inspiration. The page also includes a one-shot photo from a Culture Agency event, where Pikmin received an award, noting the discovery of Shigeru Miyamoto's name tag despite his absence. Edition 1 asks about the GameCube Experience event held in Shibuya. The response explains it was a successful event, albeit announced suddenly, featuring games like Doshin the Giant and Animal Crossing. Developer talk shows with key figures like Kazunobu Ida and Hirohito Matsumoto were a highlight, providing a comfortable, engaging atmosphere. A photo shows someone, likely Ida, linking to the previous page's interview, at the event, noting the Shibuya location attracted a slightly older crowd, and even couples. Nintendo's Q&A page addresses player questions about recent releases. Newspaper ads targeted older players for titles like Animal Crossing and Resident Evil, providing content warnings. The Triforce arcade board, a collaborative effort between Nintendo, Sega, and Namco, utilizes GameCube tech. The Wavebird wireless controller's North American release date is June 24th for $39.95. Finally, cleaning memory card 59 connectors involves a cotton swab, avoiding commercial cleaners and blowing on the port, as moisture causes corrosion. A sidebar mentions a potential Animal Crossing soundtrack. This Ask Nintendo Q and a section covers GameCube games. Mario Tennis and Mario Golf are confirmed for the system, inheriting 64 depth with new features. Dobutsu Bancho sales are performing as expected, especially outside major retailers. The game's visual identity in commercials was a deliberate marketing choice to highlight it as a GameCube title. Finally, voice actors for Super Smash Bros. Melee are detailed, including key names like Charles Martinet as Mario and Nobuyuki Hayama as Link, with a comprehensive list of Japanese voice actors provided. The page concludes with images related to the game and its marketing. This page continues the Nintendo Q&A section, tackling more questions about the GameCube. Question 10 asks why 64 games aren't being remade for the system. The answer highlights that games like Animal Crossing Plus, Super Smash Bros., Melee, and Doshin the Giant are already out, enhanced and updated so much they feel like new games rather than just remakes. Future Mario Tennis and Mario Golf titles are also coming, building on their 64 predecessors. Question 11 addresses the frustration of not being able to find Animal Crossing e-reader cards, with Nintendo apologizing and stating plans for significant production increases to meet demand. Question 12 confirms that there are currently no concrete plans for the next Super Smash Bros. Tournament, despite the success of the last one. Finally, Question 13 reveals the Japanese release date for Star Fox Adventures, May 31st. The game is described as a huge project, with 56 chapters set to impress players, with its launch notably coinciding with the 2002 World Cup kickoff. Images on the page show a character from Doshin the Giant, a character with an Animal Crossing e-reader card, and Fox McCloud. Nintendo confirms Square Enix's return to Nintendo hardware with a new Final Fantasy title for GameCube and GBA, and Final Fantasy Tactics for GBA. Development is underway for holiday release. Game Boy Music, a previously shown project, is confirmed as continuing development, nearing completion, and potentially expanding with Zelda links on GameCube. Fire Emblem. The Binding Blade is confirmed. Nintendo clarifies its total home console software releases as 267, including 49 Famicom titles, and notes the Game Boy Advance screen cannot be output to a TV. Nintendo's Q&A page addresses fan queries. Rare's rumored multi-platform move is denied, likely stemming from a misinterpreted Christmas card. The origin of Nintendo is discussed, with the popular leaving fortune to heaven theory unconfirmed. The company's founding and the name's adoption are detailed, but the rationale remains lost to time. President Yamauchi's retirement remains planned for the first half of the year, potentially in June. Miyamoto's humorous E3 comment regarding the next president's selection is noted. The page also showcases Nintendo's extensive software catalog across various consoles, from Famicom to GameCube. Finally, a Nintendo question box invites further inquiries. This page covers a special Nintendo event held at Shibuya Q-Front on February 16th, turning the building into a vibrant Nintendo showcase with logos and game footage projected onto its massive screen. The event offered fans the chance to get hands-on with upcoming titles like Cubivore, Survival of the Fittest, known as Animal Bancho in Japan, and Doshin the Giant, before their release, drawing huge crowds and long lines that lasted until late evening, though trial play for Resident Evil was unfortunately not available. Beyond the demo stations, the event featured a game tournament for Cubivore, where players competed for impressive prizes like TVs and Game Boy Advance systems. Interestingly, the prizes were presented in unassembled cardboard Bancho boxes, adding a quirky touch. Attendees could also catch a talk by game creators, including Bose from Stacha Dara Par, and everyone who participated in the tournament received fun tattoo stickers. The atmosphere was energetic and packed, highlighting the anticipation for these unique Nintendo titles. This page covers the Creator Talk event that happened at the Nintendo Showcase. Starting at 7 p.m., developers who worked on Animal Bancho, Cubivore, Doshin the Giant, and Resident Evil gathered on stage, moderated by Hashimoto Satoshi from Sarugakucho. The format allowed attendees to hear behind-the-scenes stories they normally wouldn't. Participants included Nintendo's Tabata Shinsuke, Animal Bancho director Matsumoto Hiroto, Doshin, the Giant producer Ida Kazuyoshi, and Capcom's Kobayashi Hiroki. The talk delved into the origins and concepts of the games. Matsumoto talked about Animal Bancho, how it started with a desire to make a game where physical changes dramatically altered gameplay, leading to its unique mutation system. He humorously compared game development to nation building, and how rules can evolve unexpectedly. Ida discussed Doshin the Giant, mentioning it was a secret project initially released in Japan, and noting the strong desire to bring it to GameCube. He touched on concepts like the giant's height and the game's simple premise. Images show the panel discussion and some items related to the games displayed at the venue, including Doshin the Giant artwork and toys. A sidebar also points out the connection between GC and GBA versions of Nintendo software. A Nintendo Showcase featured a live demo of the Resident Evil GameCube remake, Biohazard in Japan, showcasing never-before-seen footage, including a shark attack sequence. Merchandise was also on display. The event included a queue and a panel with developers from Cubivore, Doshin the Giant, and Resident Evil, where the Resident Evil director discussed the game's development, including character redesigns, Leon Cooler, Jill Cuter, Rebecca Youthful. Surprise guests, including Xevious creator Masanobu Endo, added to the excitement. The event's success and the game's quality were praised, and attendees urged Nintendo to host more similar events. In 2001, Nintendo enjoyed widespread awards recognition. The Game Boy Advance, with over 10 million units sold and a vast game library, won the Nikkei Outstanding Product/Service Award. Nintendo games at the Japan Media Arts Festival earned multiple awards, including Pikmin's Excellence Award and Luigi's Mansion's Entertainment Award. Animal Crossing received a Community Award. Nintendo President Hiroshi Yamauchi received a special award at the Digital Content Grand Prix. Shigeru Miyamoto attended international events like the D.ICE Summit, where Pikmin won for innovation in console gaming. A Pikmin music CD featuring new tracks was also announced.
Overall, Nintendo celebrated a successful year across hardware, software, and music. The AOU Amusement Expo revealed the Triforce arcade board, a collaboration between Nintendo, Sega, and Namco, utilizing GameCube technology. Square Enix is also returning to Nintendo hardware, developing a Final Fantasy title for the GameCube, Christmas release, and 2 GBA games. Upcoming merchandise includes Pikmin keychains, Mario Party figures, and Kirby items. A commercial for Sega's Shining Soul GBA game and Fire Emblem. The binding blade on GBA are also highlighted, showcasing production details. Finally, a preview of the Kirby. Right back at Ya! Anime is provided, featuring King Dede and Escargoon. The page highlights various gaming news and merchandise. Pikmin plushies are available in 3 colors and variations. Gaming recommendations include Fire Emblem, the Binding Blade and Power Pro Pocket 4 for GBA, Doshin the Giant and NBA Courtside for GameCube, and a Resident Evil remake. A manga strip and photo gallery feature a Link cosplayer at a Super Smash Bros. Melee tournament. Sega's Game Jam 2 at the Tokyo International Forum will showcase new games, including Phantasy Star Online and reveals of unannounced titles. Finally, upcoming figures include posable Capcom Queens figures, Chun-Li and Morrigan, and Gashapon figures, based on the GBA game Granbo. This page is a digest of upcoming software titles for Nintendo consoles. First up is Kinnikuman 2-Sei, Shin Sedai Choujin vs. Densetsu Choujin on GameCube. This looks like an exciting fighting game, featuring characters from the popular anime, including Kinnikuman 2-Sei himself, and many legendary wrestlers. Fans of the series are surely looking forward to this one. Next, we get a glimpse of the highly anticipated Metroid Prime for GameCube. Described as an action shooter, development is progressing well, and it received strong reviews overseas at E3. It seems the wait will be worth it for this new adventure. Below that is Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem for GameCube, a psychological adventure game. The text mentions a story spanning different eras and builds anticipation for its summer 2002 release. The screenshot hints at the game's eerie atmosphere. Moving to the Game Boy Advance, we see Pokémon GBA version, provisional. This RPG, likely the Ruby/Sapphire generation, has finally shown off in-game screenshots. The protagonist is shown in a new outfit, and we get to see some new Pokémon like Volbeat, Sableye, and Wynaut. The graphics look sharp for the GBA. Finally, there's Totoko Hamtaro 3, Love Love Daibuken Deichu for GBA. This adventure game follows Hamtaro through a strange dream, where a devil hamster breaks up couples, which then becomes reality. New characters like a devil and angel hamster are introduced, adding some intrigue to the Hamtaro world. This digest highlights upcoming Game Boy Advance games. Legend of Starfy is a charming marine action platformer with vehicle use and a tough boss. Sakurazukin no Yuki Yuki Carnival is an adventure game where players manage a carnival, utilizing internet-like features. Keitai Denju Telephone 2, a power and speed RPG, allows communication with mobile beasts using a special phone. Finally, Doraemon Doko Demo Walker is a board game adaptation featuring familiar Doraemon characters and scenarios from the anime/manga. Several upcoming GBA games are highlighted. Jinsei Game Advance, a Japanese game of life, adds new modes and minigames. Gachinko Pro Yaku is a realistic baseball simulation using 2002 data. Oshaberi Inko Kurabu is a unique raising simulator where you teach a parakeet words, and it speaks them back. Finally, a Game Boy Color title, Azarashi Sentai Inazuma Doki Doki Dai Sakusen. Quote, is a variety game featuring character combinations and various minigames with original music. This page features previews of some exciting upcoming games. At the top, we have Star Fox Adventures for the Nintendo GameCube, confirming its release date. Fox McCloud is back, this time in an action-adventure title, where he'll explore vast environments, engage in combat using a staff, and interact with other characters. The screenshots show Fox on the bridge of the Great Fox, battling enemies, and visiting a shop. Beside it is Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color, a survival horror adventure. Set aboard the cruise ship Starlight, the story involves Leon S. Kennedy investigating a new biological weapon, and Barry Burton is deployed when contact is lost. The page shows ominous screenshots of zombies flooding the ship, and the unique battle system interface featuring Leon and Barry. Further down we see 2 Angelique titles for the Game Boy Advance. The first is simply Angelique, a dating simulation where you play as a queen candidate, who must use the power of guardian saints, to raise a continent, and potentially find romance. Screenshots show character interactions and the continental map. The second is Angelique in the Land of Mystery, described as an etc. genre game that supports up to 4 players via link cable. This looks like a variety game involving events like tea parties, mini-games, like a puzzle shown, and interacting with familiar characters such as the Cheshire Cat. This page is dedicated to a gallery of fan-submitted illustrations. The main feature, titled Illustrations Grand Hall of Fame, showcases a variety of impressive artwork from readers. There's also a small comic segment at the top called That's Mario, Ultimate Choice, featuring a character and animals looking at photos. The illustrations cover a range of popular games and characters. We see Jill Valentine from Resident Evil depicted with a great sense of atmosphere. There are multiple Fire Emblem pieces, including Marth and Roy from Super Smash Bros. Melee, highlighting their different costumes, and characters from Fire Emblems, the Binding Blade during a break. Super Smash Bros. Melee is also featured with a vibrant illustration showing many core characters like Mario, Link, Pikachu, Kirby, and more. Other artwork includes a fun scene with many Yoshis, a nostalgic room filled with items referencing games like Animal Crossing and Mother, a collection of characters from the Mega Man X series including Iris and Zero, and a charming picture of Mario and Luigi with a spring theme. Kirby appears again, nestled among cherry blossoms. Finally, there's an illustration featuring characters from Magical Vacation. The accompanying text often praises the quality of the art and comments on the scenes or characters depicted, reflecting the magazine's appreciation for the fans' creativity. This page is dedicated to fan artwork and letters from readers. The top section, titled Mario Guard, showcases larger illustrations. We see a lovely depiction of Princess Zelda from Ocarina of Time, characters from Mega Man Battle Network 2 including the Navi bosses, and Rebecca Chambers from Resident Evil Zero. There's also a fun fantasy piece titled Now Let's Go to Adventure, a scene of Ash and Pikachu enjoying a Pokemon card game, and striking artwork featuring characters from the game Rune, utilizing beautiful watercolor techniques. Another piece shows 3 distinct fantasy characters, described as a requested illustration. Moving down to the illustrations under 10 years old section, we get a glimpse into the creativity of younger fans. There are charming drawings of Kirby, dressed as Super Smash Bros. Melee's Marth and Roy, characters from Animal Crossing including the Ghost Utaro and various animal villagers, Link and Navi from Ocarina of Time, Mario and Luigi, King Dedede, Kirby and Gooey, and characters from Pikmin like Mr. Game & Watch and Enemies. Finally, the illustration fan letter section features letters and smaller illustrations, with a clear demand for illustrations from a specific artist. Many letters are requesting more artwork of Marth and Roy from Super Smash Bros. Melee, showing the character's immense popularity. There are also mentions of Star Fox and Kirby, with one fan expressing happiness about Kirby's recent appearance or revival. The section includes small drawings, often accompanying the requests, or simply sharing favorite characters. This page features reader recommendations for their favorite games, complete with wonderful fan art. The theme this month is My Recommendation, and it's clear fans have a wide range of beloved titles. We see beautiful illustrations and heartfelt messages recommending classics like The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, praised as a masterpiece, and Super Mario RPG, noted for its unique adventure with Bowser. Fans also champion deeper titles like Tactics Ogre, appreciating its serious story and music, and various Fire Emblem games. The creativity extends to Pixel Adventures 2, with recommendations for Mother from the Famicom era, the charming world of Animal Crossing, and the enduring appeal of The Legend of Zelda. Link's Awakening. Newer hits like Star Fox 64 and the Golden Sun series also get shoutouts, as do fan favorites like Far East of Eden Zero and Pokemon Crystal. It's a fantastic display of the diverse games that have captured players' hearts. This page showcases reader-submitted 4-panel comics, Mario Royal Guard, and 4-panel Tenement House, featuring Nintendo characters and themes. Comics include surreal subspace depictions, Pokemon battles with Nomura, Link using the Rod of Seasons, and Zelda/Mother crossovers. Star Fox, fighting game concepts, and Mother references are also present. A final comic mashups Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and F-Zero. Many comics feature caricatures of magazine staff reacting to interviews, adding a personal touch.
This page features a wonderful collection of reader-submitted fan art, showcasing the creativity and passion of the magazine's audience. The illustrations cover a broad spectrum of popular games, with a strong focus on Nintendo titles. You'll find vibrant depictions of characters from upcoming hits, like Super Mario Sunshine, and beloved series such as The Legend of Zelda, featuring various iterations of Link, including the charming Wind Waker style. Super Smash Bros. Melee is a frequent subject, highlighting fan favorites like Marth and Roy, and even mentioning tournament experiences. Other popular games represented include Mega Man Zero, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and Kirby. Beyond the headliners, there are illustrations for Golden Sun, Magical Vacation, Card Hero, Mario Tennis, Fire Emblem, and even a nod to Resident Evil. The accompanying comments from the artists are brief but insightful, sharing their excitement for games, their appreciation for specific characters, or personal anecdotes related to their gaming experiences. It's a fantastic snapshot of the gaming community's interests and artistic talent at the time. This page dives deep into the heart of the community with an incredible showcase of reader-submitted fan art. It's packed with vibrant illustrations featuring characters from all sorts of fan-favorite games. You'll spot awesome pieces for Super Smash Bros. Melee, highlighting characters like Marth and Roy, plus different iterations of Link and Zelda from the Legend of Zelda series, including the Wind Waker style. There's also fantastic art for Sonic Adventure 2, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Mother 2, Star Fox Adventures, Fire Emblem, and Mega Man Zero, among many others. The page also features a Heart of Collaboration section with a cool collaborative piece based on Super Smash Bros. Melee, showing off favorite fighters. Another section, Kiteru Katachi, presents some unique original character designs and interpretations, like a creature inspired by the Mandragora myth and Doshin the Giant. There's even a brief mention of Wholeness and a character called Pickles. Rounding out the page is a list celebrating readers who earned rank promotions this month through their contributions, and instructions on how you can submit your own illustrations, manga, or fan letters to the magazine. It's clear this page is all about celebrating the reader's passion for gaming through their art and creativity. This page brings us to the Dream Technique Corner, loaded with secret information! This time, we're diving into Virtua Striker 3 Ver.2002. The big secret revealed here is how to unlock the awesome hidden team, FC Sonic. By playing the variation mode and racking up play points, you'll eventually unlock this unique team, featuring characters from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, including Sonic himself, Drive, Eggman, and various KO. Yuji Naka is even the coach. The page shows screenshots of the team selection and Sonic on the field. There are also other unlockables revealed. Clearing the road to International Cup mode unlocks 4 hidden stadiums, like the cool Velvet Road Stadium shown here, and 8 types of hilarious hidden parts for player editing, like glasses and hats. You can even set up incredible matches like Sonic vs. Brazil. This section is all about uncovering the cool extras hidden within Virtua Striker 3. This page reveals game secrets, starting with Guilty Gear X Advance Edition's extra characters. Reaching level 20 in survival mode unlocks gold versions, and level 180 unlocks more. Mega Man Battle Network 2 style changes are unlocked by defeating V3 bosses, except base. A sight style gives double buster power, and more. Animal Crossing Plus has a trick. If the village elder walks over a buried pitfall seed, the trap disappears. Ask Dr. Rins. Love Feng Shui, Super Famicom/Game Boy Color, allows item access via MD radio cassette passwords. The site encourages readers to submit their own dream techniques for prizes, including a pause code for Gradius Advance. This page dives into the world of the mobile system GB, a fascinating initiative allowing your Game Boy Color or Advance to connect to the internet via a mobile phone or PHS. It explains how this system lets you browse websites, send and receive email, and download extra content for games, all requiring the mobile adapter GB peripheral, which came bundled with the Mobile Trainer cartridge for basic online functions. It then showcases some of the 21 compatible titles that leverage this connectivity. You've got All Japan GT Championship, a racer where you could upload clear times for rankings and download new tracks and ghost data. Play novel. Silent Hill offered a unique horror adventure experience as a sound novel with branching paths, allowing you to download exclusive side stories. There's even a Doraemon action game, where using the mobile features could get you items from characters. Of course,
Pokemon Crystal version is here, using the system for ranking battles, item downloads, and linking up for nationwide competitions. Napoleon lets you download battlefield data and compete for speedrun times in a strategy mode, while Monster Guardians used online for training boosts and item trading. Finally, Mobile Golf, developed by the masters at Camelot, offered downloadable courses, characters, and even online tournaments, which they held regularly. This was groundbreaking stuff for handheld gaming. The mobile system GB expanded online gaming, allowing players to download additional minigames, net to get minigame, upload results for competitive play, X Monopoly, and download new content, Morita Shogi Advance, Mario Kart Advance, titles like Kiniku Banzuke and Stakomi integrated social features, while Mobile Pro Baseball focused on data downloads. RPGs like Zero Tours and Game Boy Wars 3 enabled item trading and map downloads. Daisen Ryaku offered downloadable units and online rankings, fishing, exciting base, and communication games. Mail to Cute, Hello Kitty's Happy House, also utilized online functionality, showcasing the system's broad online integration. This page is a deep dive into the strategic nuances of Gomoku Narabe, or 5 and Arrow, specifically the version that became popular with games like Animal Crossing. It serves as a guide for players looking to improve their skills in this classic board game. The article introduces the core rules of Renju, a variant of Gomoku, with specific restrictions. While the goal is still to get 5 stones in a row, Black, the first player, is forbidden from creating Sansan, simultaneous 3 and Arrow threats, Shishi, simultaneous 4 and Arrow threats, or Chorin, 6 or more in a row. These forbidden moves result in an automatic loss for Black, and White wins if Black is forced into one. The guide illustrates key winning patterns, including the 4-3 shape, which guarantees a win because it creates unavoidable threats. It also demonstrates how players can force their opponent, especially Black, into making a forbidden move, turning a seemingly simple board state into a win. Diagrams show examples of these winning sequences and forbidden shapes like 4-4. The feature concludes by touching upon the competitive world of Renju, mentioning world championships, and noting that companies like Nintendo have sponsored events, highlighting the game's enduring appeal beyond digital versions. It's a fascinating look at the strategic depth hidden within a seemingly simple game. This page marks the final entry in the Animal Crossing Plus custom design feature. It's awesome to see how much creativity the fans poured into this. The magazine highlights a collection of cool designs, showing off everything from a space-themed outfit, and looks inspired by characters like Wario, the Ice Climbers, and even Pokemon like Meryl and Xatu. They also give a helpful tip on how to get your designs just right, by sketching them out on grid paper before you start placing pixels in the game. The feature wraps up with a really unique, complex pattern presented almost like a QR code, humorously called the Final Gosshawker's Suit. It's a fun look back at the community's design efforts in the game. The page also briefly mentions the results of a past design contest, congratulating the winners who received special designs and a magazine-exclusive newspaper item in their game. This page is a fantastic look at the Nintendo GameCube right at its launch period, showcasing both the hardware and the initial lineup of games. The console itself is featured prominently in several vibrant colors like indigo, black, and orange, alongside essential accessories like controllers, memory cards, and various AV cables. It also previews some exciting upcoming hardware, including the legendary Wavebird wireless controller, an SD card adapter, and a broadband adapter for online connectivity. The software section provides a handy guide to game genres using a simple color key. The main focus is the selection of games available right now. This includes some absolute classics and early hits, such as the spooky adventure of Luigi's Mansion, the chaotic fun of Super Monkey Ball, the unique strategy of Pikmin, the stunning water racing of Wave Race, Blue Storm, the intense fighting action of Super Smash Bros., Melee, the official football simulation FIFA 2002, the theme park exploration of Universal Studios Japan Adventure, the charming life simulation of Animal Crossing Plus with its GBA Link feature, and the high-speed thrills of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. It's a strong start to the GameCube's library, offering a great mix of genres for players to dive into immediately. The GameCube's upcoming lineup boasts a diverse range of games, including popular sports titles, SSX Tricky, Hyper Sports 2002 Winter, Virtua Striker 3, action games, Animal Leader, Extreme G Racing, Groove Adventure Rave, fighting games,
Bloody Roar Extreme, Soul Calibur 2, and adventure games. Star Fox Adventures, Resident Evil Remake, Resident Evil 0. Notable releases include Super Mario Sunshine and a teased Legend of Zelda title for the console. Other highlighted games include Doshin the Giant, Bomberman Generation, and Disney's Magical Mirror. The magazine also mentions release dates for Eternal Darkness and Phantasy Star Online. The sheer number of high-profile games suggests a significant expansion of the GameCube library. This page continues the GameCube catalog, showcasing upcoming titles from various genres. Featured games include multiple Resident Evil entries, like Resident Evil 2, 3, and Code Veronica X, plus a look at the tentative Resident Evil 4, all headed to the GameCube. We also see the intriguing Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. Other highlights are racing games like the tentative Tudge Battle, Donkey Kong Racing, and Ridge Racer series, all marked as now making. RPG fans can look forward to Rune, Skies of Arcadia Legends, and Gold Mountain, while online players are anticipating Phantasy Star Online. Major licensed titles featured are Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader, Metroid Prime, NBA Street, NBA Courtside 2002, and 2002 FIFA World Cup. The page also previews tentative Mario Golf and Mario Tennis titles. Comments highlight Resident Evil's move to GC, Skies of Arcadia's Dreamcast Origins, Rogue Leader's visuals, and Metroid Prime's shift to a 3D perspective. A section titled A Room with a GameCube shows reader-submitted photos of their setups, featuring families enjoying games like Super Smash Bros. And Animal Crossing. The sidebar mentions the umulous release of Wave Race, Blue Storm, and its price, questioning whether others find it expensive. This page features the Chat Box, a column where the Nindori editors speak their minds. This time, the focus is on regulations for game magazines. The editors, including Sauhen, Colonel Kai, Mashi, Nakue, Endo, and Kayan, discuss the rules imposed by game manufacturers regarding what magazines can publish. They express frustration with regulations that restrict revealing things like hidden characters or techniques, or major spoilers like the last boss in games such as Luigi's Mansion. They note that, with the internet readily providing such information, these regulations often feel pointless and make it hard for magazines to serve readers effectively. They feel regulations should aim to protect the user's fun, not hinder information flow, and should be clearly defined, especially regarding release dates and unifying terminology. A small explanation box clarifies that manufacturers distribute regulation documents specifying what can be published up to a certain date, which magazines follow when creating articles. Looking ahead, the next topic for discussion is online gaming necessary now? This page gives us a fantastic look at the upcoming lineup for Nintendo consoles, hot off the press as of March 12th. It's a multi-platform launch schedule covering the GameCube, Game Boy Advance, and even the Game Boy Color. You'll see tables packed with details like genre, publisher, release date, and price for tons of games. The GameCube list is loaded with anticipation, featuring big hitters like the announced Resident Evil games, including 0, 2, 3, and the GameCube port of Code Veronica, Star Fox Adventures, Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, and tantalizing temporary titles like Mario Sunshine, Legend of Zelda GC, and Metroid Prime. The Game Boy Advance section is absolutely massive, showcasing why the handheld was a powerhouse. It highlights popular series like Fire Emblem, The Binding Blade, Golden Sun, and the various Super Mario Advance titles like Yoshi's Island. There are also new IPs and plenty of Japanese favorites listed, proving there was something for everyone. Even the Game Boy Color gets a few mentions, notably with Resident Evil Gaiden. The page also has some cool art featuring Pikmin characters and the sleek Game Boy Advance console itself. This schedule was essential reading back then, letting us gamers see all the awesome software heading our way across Nintendo's hardware. This page dives into the reader feedback section, Enquete Banchu, survey leader, picking up the saga of the character, Mitsuru, who's dealing with a recent breakup but is determined to keep going. This section is all about what the readers thought of the magazine this month and their gaming preferences. The main part is a survey asking readers questions like their opinion on the magazine's cover and which articles they found interesting or uninteresting from a provided list covering various game features, reviews, and magazine content. They're also asked about upcoming games they're excited for, linking back to the release schedule from the previous page.
A big part of the survey focuses on game characters. Readers are asked if they own character merchandise, if they'd buy it for their favorites, what kind of game-related goods they usually purchase, like strategy guides, music crids, or toys, and what they find appealing about game characters, whether it's their cool design, cuteness, or admirable spirit. The page also announces the winners of the March issue's Reader Presents. The Ankate Banchao character provides more commentary on his dramatic personal life, even referencing Dragon Quest vs. Gandia. The section hypes up its conclusion in the next issue, promising a major showdown for Mitsuru. Readers are reminded the survey postcard must be postmarked by April 20, 2002. This page appears to be the cover page or a preview page for the June 2002 issue of Nintendo Dream Magazine. It announces the magazine's release on April 20, 2002, priced at 490 yen. The upcoming issue's highlights are front and center, promising a developer interview for Resident Evil on GameCube and Game Boy Advance, and the exciting news that Square titles are finally coming to Nintendo platforms. Other games teased for the next issue include Rune and Fire Emblem. The page also features the editor's voice section, where staff members share personal thoughts, some relating to games they enjoy, like Final Fantasy Tactics and Fire Emblems, The Binding Blade, as well as everyday life experiences. There's a small, charming one-panel comic strip titled This Month's Hitokoma. Additionally, there's a promotion for Nintendo Stadium, potentially a separate publication or section, highlighting its contents, which include a survival guide for Resident Evil, a 26-page strategy guide for Fire Emblem, The Binding Blade covering beginner to advanced players, and a research report on the strongest characters in Super Smash Bros. Melee. The page concludes with a staff list and contact information for the magazine. This page is the cover of a substantial gaming guide, or MOOC, titled Kugi-en, which translates roughly to Vast Technique Garden. This particular edition, The Practical Secret Techniques, boasts an incredible 7,258 different tricks and tips for a wide array of systems. Supervised by someone named Kindaichi Gigahiko, this is the latest version, published in spring 2002, and covers a remarkable total of 10 currently available consoles at the time, with new techniques added up to the end of March 2002. The guide includes secrets for the Xbox, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, WonderSwan, Dreamcast, Neo Geo Pocket, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, PlayStation, and PlayStation 2. Beyond the massive collection of secret techniques, it also features an extensive game catalog, listing 5,803 titles. The book is notably thick, weighing in at a hefty 904 pages, offering serious value for its 950 yen price point plus tax. Published by Mainichi Communications, this was clearly a comprehensive resource for gamers looking to find hidden content and shortcuts across virtually every platform popular in early 2002. This page is an advertisement for NBA Courtside 2002 on the Nintendo GameCube, featuring Lakers star Kobe Bryant. The ad highlights the game's release date of March 29, 2002, and its suggested retail price of 6,800 yen,